That's good stuff, man.
The it'll be interesting to see how Fussell does now that he's taken over it.
He's coming in. How long before Davis rotates out fully?
End of the month. Trying to set Davis.
Now, do they do a transition period there?
No.
And now they just boom.
No, but they have a pomp and circumstance change of command.
Olives are spicy.
Amount of time is probably not the greatest idea.
Well, then you get everybody together, drinks, snacks.
Yeah, at the convention center. Not convention center. What's that called? The Time Chicken Center.
That's where we ran into each other last year.
Correct.
When Davis was coming in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
So we got Daniel try to become czar of the port, because I think that's a good platform.
Well, there's certainly enough controversy up there.
Yeah, I was kidding Morales today. I was talking to Morales.
I mean, that's, if there's any.
I said, if you really need help, call me. I'll fix these things for you.
Yeah. I mean, dang. How can you let that go on right under your nose, man?
That's what he said.
I mean, that's embarrassing for him.
That's what he said. Well, I'm upset about it. It's on my watch.
That's embarrassing as hell for him.
Well, a certain amount of diversity is good, but I think you always got to have checks and balance and everything. And I don't know. It looks like it's fairly blatant. The FBI doesn't do what they did unless it's fairly blatant. Unless they got a good case.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to the paper, the guy's name is Clark.
No, that's all. Maybe Nelson. Wasn't it Nelson? Tony Nelson or something?
Whichever guy. It seems that he had 3 businesses.
He got directed some contracting. And the guy I liked was Baker, who's a financial guy. I guess he signed off on him, so he's on leave right now.
I think he wanted that. He said,
"You boy Dick Brown. I guess Dick's going to run now."
For
city council for Jaipur seat.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Bernie Nachman said it's open.
And it's good to go. So I think Dick will be formidable.
If you ever get a chance to meet Judge Nachman, don't pass it up.
Really?
He's an old New York Jewish judge. Tom, the guy's a hoot. He's an absolute hoot.
Well, I think he made the right decision.
What other decision could he have made?
Well, he could have kept it. He had to qualify during the qualification period. He's only 2 guys are the one who wants to qualify.
It just would have been invited more trouble.
Yeah, but it's defensible. And I don't think Hardin or Brown, I don't think there's enough time to push the issue much more. Because when I talked to Dick, he wasn't really pushing it that hard. I actually think he got kind of talked into doing it as a stalking horse to a certain degree. He's got good name recognition in it. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he runs.
That would be good.
They'll put someone else in.
That's good for Davis, though. Get in there, amidst all this confusion, straighten everything out.
Oh, I think it's a great platform. My thing with Daniel just needs strategic help. Strategic help. He's got everything he needs.
He's a good format.
It's great. He's got good sense of humor.
A very presentable package.
Oh, you see his wife and his kids?
No, never met him.
Hate him. I hate
Good.
him. I hate them.
Yeah, hate him. Nobody should have it that well.
Oh, God, it's unbelievable. Talk about...
Here's to guys who have it better than us.
Yeah, there's a few of those. I'll save that until I finish my Scottish. He's got a great future. No question about it. I must have done a great job selling St. Johns County, because I was on the phone with Rivera and Rubio and all these guys trying to...
This week?
Yeah, my 9B money.
Right. How's that coming?
Wow. St. Johns County's 9B money is protected.
Good.
Duval's 9B money
Another story.
was pushed back a year.
Another story.
I said, what the fuck good is that? I gotta connect with something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the road to nowhere. We don't want that. That does not work.
I mean, I appreciate keeping my money so I keep my PD and all that online.
It's a nice thought, fellas, but, you know, we'd really have to drive on this road.
I need the rest.
We got to drive on it.
I don't know. Then I had a meeting with...
I'm going to go sit with DOT. Not this month, but next month.
Well, who you sit with? You sit with Bennett or...
Copalusis.
Oh, really? The boss lady?
I sit with her. It's time for the 5 hard questions.
Which are?
On the Outer Beltway.
Oh, really?
When do we start? Where's the money coming from? Are there any other spiders and snakes that you need us to look at to make sure you guys don't screw up?
Well, I want to do it a whole different way. I mean, I'm working at a different angle completely.
What you said.
Right. I mean, I don't want to give it away.
Well, the key is, I don't think DOT has the planning ability to execute.
But you buy that.
No, that's my point.
I
I don't think they have it. So in the absence of it, that creates the opportunity. They've already proved they can screw things up. And they did. You got some consultants out there. Not the concessionaires, Tom, but the consultants.
Right.
They themselves have committed to $1 million worth of the pre-engineering.
No.
About 600 grand of that's already taken place. So these guys have shelled out big money. They're pissed. And I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, but they did it on the come, you know. They're Yo 7.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Wear those double sixes when I need them.
And the reality is, you know, if it works, their payback is 10 times what their normal payback would be. I mean, you don't play the come line unless you get some odds.
I don't mind playing, but I don't like somebody coming in and saying, you know, we forgot, but that particular double six that you rolled, that doesn't count in this game. It doesn't count here.
Sure.
That's what happened when they screwed up on the property tax deal.
Well, according to Baldwin, I talked to Baldwin about it. I mean, he said that he had asked that question, and initially they had gotten what he considered to be a favorable ruling.
What's their ruling? Either you have it or you don't.
Well, he got the impression that they had it, and I guess some of the concessionaire lawyers, I'm sure they're out of New York or Chicago, and all over the place, London, you know, asked the question and weren't able to get an opinion that they felt comfortable in. For me, it's great, though.
For you, it's great. A big screw up for DOT.
Well,
in the final analysis, though, they probably have no business trying to do it. Because invariably there will be something else. Something else will happen, just as monumental.
See, I think DOT should be a funding vehicle. You know, not the vehicle. It's just, I mean, look at, I mean, we had a meeting on 9B. I was telling you about Jack Webb and Shannon from the mayor's office, and Blaylock, and Kravitz, and a couple guys from the chamber, you know. Of course, I got there 15 minutes late because I locked McCormick's keys in his truck and I couldn't get him. Didn't realize he's got one of these stupid trucks there. If you lock the door, close the door, it doesn't pop back open, it just locks.
It's done.
Right.
Oh, crap.
And he only had one key.
What'd you do? Call Papa Luck?
Well, he had AAA or something. He had one of those services, and they came and opened the door for him. Because I had to leave, and then I get to this meeting. You know, basically I'm the meeting.
And they're waiting on you then?
I'm just getting there 20 minutes late. So, of course, I do I lock the keys in the truck, you know. It's always good to tell the truth. And then Friday night I was with the sheriff. I'm getting my teeth.
How is the sheriff?
The sheriff, my gumbo.
How is the sheriff?
And I had asked the sheriff about 6 weeks ago to recommend me to a dentist. You know, and he recommended this guy. So I went to this guy. The guy's really good. I really like him. but he put some temporary teeth on.
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday night, I'm talking to the sheriff, and one of the teeth comes out, hits the sheriff in the chest.
No.
Falls on the floor.
Funny. Did he think he'd been shot?
This is in front of 400 and some odd people. I go, hey, that's my tooth. So
Give it back.
I bend down on the floor, pick it up. I said, don't you say anything. You recommended the dentist.
He had to get a kick out of that.
He does. And we're having our second annual budget lunch this Friday. We had our first annual budget lunch. Did I ever tell you the story?
Mm-mm.
Sheriff, comes in his full regalia and does what sheriffs do. They prance around and talk about public safety. Got the vest on. And, it's very impressive. I got to tell you, I was impressed. And his budget was $53 million that year, and he wanted $59 million. So, I didn't say anything during the meeting. No, I was we meet afterwards. And I said, no, Dave, it's just not going to work.
This is at the end of the meeting.
This is a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks later, whatever.
All right.
I think you're aware of what's going on in Tallahassee, and I'm not giving you that much money. So what are you willing to give me? I said, well, because I'd already done a deal with the fire chief. So. And I don't know if you remember the formula that Tallahassee passed, but it was a formula that said you started at 100. And then you got penalized if you were one of those bad counties. In other words, you spent too much taxpayer money. And you had to reduce that number. And we were one of the 9% counties. We were considered very extravagant. So we went from 100 to 91. And then we were allowed to add back in the growth factors and all that. So we ended up at 95.5, let's just say, for example. Now, if you're a fire district, instead of being penalized in the 9 points, you were only penalized 3 points. So you went from 100 to 97.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the 4.5 back in, so you're at 101.5.
So you got a 1.5 points.
Right. So I told the Chief Hall, who's a really good guy. I said, that's what we're going to do, though. 101.5. Are you happy? Can you live with that, Bob? He says, yeah, I'll make that work for you. So then I go to the sheriff. I said, I'm supposed to push you back 9%, but that's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bobby, because he's a fire district, got pushed back 3%. So I'll tell you what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to treat you on the same plane that we treat the fire department, because you're both public safety arms. And he's fighting me. So he comes back in with a budget of $58 million. And my numbers,
as opposed to 59.
Well, no, yeah. And my numbers, he had to be at 56.2. So we're having this discussion going on and on, and then all of a sudden we're not talking anymore. So I don't know if you remember last year I did budget hearings.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we went around all the different lines.
Yeah.
We had budget hearings. Well, part of the process was to see if I could get anybody engaged in the budget, which I couldn't. But besides that fact, the last one was scheduled the week before the final budget hearing, and I scheduled it in St. Augustine. And we had 4 people show up from the public, and then we had Sanchez and Rich, Cindy, and myself, public notice meeting,
Mm-hmm.
of course, stenographer, talking about the budget.
So 4 people and you guys.
So
You had a meeting.
Right, we had a meeting.
Yeah.
And we decided maybe we ought to cut the budget to the sheriff to $50 million.
Okay. Did he happen to be there?
Of course not. So
He thought his 58 was in the bag, or what was his plan? I mean,
let me finish the story. So, of course, the minute the meeting's over, Cindy's on the phone. You know what they're going to do to you? Do you know what they're going to do to you?
Okay.
And of course, 20 minutes later, my phone's going. Ring,
Yep.
ring,
Yep.
And just don't answer it. I go, well, I fish.
Yeah.
He's ringing every 2 hours. Ring. Don't answer it.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
Monday is a holiday. I'm not there. Come in commission meeting Tuesday, 5 o'clock. At night is the final budget here. And we have a commission meeting, and I tell Diane, call the sheriff and get Mr. Wanchek and tell him I'd like to have lunch with him. So we went out and had lunch.
Wanchek was in place by then.
Yeah. So we go out and have lunch. And I said, Sheriff, I'm a little confused. We were having this nice discussion, and I thought we were making good progress. And then all of a sudden, I didn't hear from you anymore. So naturally, I assumed that you thought you had 3 votes. And now you know you don't.
What did he say?
Well, I want you to know, I'm a man of my word. And the offer that I gave you for this year and next year is still on the table. I need you to make that work. So finally, I said, well, what's your guy? His name Mike, too. Mike, let's see if they can resolve this for us. But, you know where I'm coming from. And we have to, let's see, 5 o'clock.
And this was what time you had him in?
This is the final meeting.
No, but I mean, what time were you in the meeting with him before?
12:30 to 1.
Okay, so you gave him a few hours.
So they come back and he says, I'll cut the budget to 56,750, and I'll give you 750 back from his carry forward. I said, cool. So we're at 56. You got it. So they go in the meeting. Of course, Ben's expecting me to just beat the shit out of the sheriff because that's what we did 4 days ago.
Yep.
And we did. He was a little disappointed because he and the sheriff have a thing sometimes. And then we did this year's budget at the same time, he and I, when we did, so it was the first annual budget meeting. And now he's come in about $1 million over what we had agreed to last year. So that's why we're having our second annual budget
meeting.
And at the same location. We're going to sit at the same table. I'm going to bring up my notes.
Now is this...
He's promised me $1 million back this year.
But here's the key. Has he learned?
We'll find out. Well, at least he's only $1 million over to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if you have to have Diane place a call at 1:30.
No, we'll just wait to have my budget hearings again and do what we have to do.
Yeah.
I think what I want to do with him this year is do next year's. See, I think it's real important that he have working capital. I think it's real important that everybody have working capital.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is not to strangle. My goal is to make sure you're fiscally responsible, but that you have adequate funds to do your job.
You got to run your department.
Right, and if you don't use all those funds, you give them back to me. All right, and so that's where we're at right now. I'm basically giving him $1 million worth of working capital.
Did he use everything?
No, he's giving me $1 million back.
Okay.
So I'll be at my 58 number. 58.8, 58.7. When you look at it over a 56.7, you're talking $2 million on $50 million. What are you talking? Nothing. 4%. I mean, if I could keep the budget, the sheriff at less than 5% in annual growth in budget, fucking Jacksonville would kiss my ass.
Come on. He just, what was he asking for, Rutherford?
As much as he can get away from.
He wanted another, I think he came out and he wanted another either $6 million or $9 million.
Yeah, I think it was more than that. It was a big number.
Yeah, on top of what they gave him.
I don't know. Public safety issues are always very hard. There's no question.
It is. There's no right answer.
Oh, here's my answer. Just want you to know. I said, Sheriff, if this becomes an issue between us, and I really hope it doesn't, because it would not be good for a commissioner and the sheriff to have this public display of disagreement. It's much better for us to have come to an understanding together.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but let me just make it very clear that if we have this public display, here's exactly what I'm going to say, so there's no lack of understanding or clarity. I'm going to say, did you guys want to throw all those 4th of July celebrations on television last year? They were in Washington, D.C. What'd you see? Policemen. And they were in Boston. What'd you see? Policemen. And when they were in New York, what do you see? Policemen. When people have policemen around, they feel safe. I feel safe when there's policemen around. So, we need policemen on the streets. And I'm really supportive of that. But your ratio of street policemen to total is, and I'm not supportive of that.
Oh, God.
And Jacksonville, it's horrendous.
Oh, Jacksonville's absurd.
And this guy, Nelson Cuba, have you met, Nelson, right?
I've never met him.
Never met him?
I've never met him, but he's supposed to be a piece of work.
Classic.
He's supposed to be a piece of work.
Commissioner!
No, he's from the old school.
Well, beyond the old school. He doesn't account to anybody. It's fine.
Oh. They gave him the union job? Mm-hmm. He reports to who he reports to? That's the end of the story. Mm-hmm. Nobody needs to know who that is.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pretty crazy up there.
Mm-hmm. Budgets are crazy. I've always been concerned. Lack of revenue coming into the state.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, James Bennett came to me and said, Bruce, there was no particular reason for him to. We were just chatting. He said, I'm $25 million behind in my CIP.
Yep.
$25 million behind. Not that I'm under budget that much. I need $25 million more than I have to finish repairs.
Right.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
They're going to cut my they're going to cut my budget again next year. I talked with James and I said, maybe there's a way, through DRIs, and this was before they gave DOT the right to sit in, at least with, I don't know if they do that with St. Augustine, but in Duval County. DOT now has the right to get their fair share of prop share funds allocated to them only to do what they need to do with it.
See, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get Revolve to do, because they get a lot of money, but they do 10% of 100 things versus 100% of 10 things, because you have these 14 council people representing that block.
Yep.
Whatever that neighborhood block is, and they lose sight of what the larger picture is. And the 5 at large aren't capable of promoting. So I'm trying to get through the MPO the consolidation. I mean, I gave Daniel, I gave Corrigan, Webb, Graham, everybody listen and say, let's make it.
I hope you can get that passed.
15 things done.
Because if not, what we have to be careful of, and this just dawned on me, as we're going through Twin Creeks, and the prop share dollars are paid, we want to make sure that whatever money DOT, if in fact they do have the right to come,
I'm not sure they do with us.
I don't know. I know in Duval, if Twin Creeks was in Duval, and we came to them and said, okay, it was going to be 90 million, it's now 60 million.
Right.
They would be in Duval with their hand out saying, okay, of that 60 million, we have it for this length, that's ours, give it to us.
Right.
We're going to spend it ourselves, instead of letting the county control it. I don't know what leverage the county has to tell DOT, well, if you're going to take it, you have to spend it on those links. You can't take it someplace else. Because they could put it in the general CIP then and go do whatever they wanted to with it.
I don't think they have that much control. I think the MPO has more control. I think the problem has been that the elected officials who have the control at the MPO level haven't educated themselves enough on 2 things. One, the power of an MPO, which is a federally charged statute, not a state statute. And this MPOs are charged by federal statutes.
Federal is strong.
They're much stronger.
Federal is strong.
And what I'm trying to do is teach the MPO that we have the clout if we choose to use that clout.
Do they recognize they have federal clout?
I think it's a slow recognition.
Do they know what it means?
Well, you got a lot of guys with a lot of political agendas, and you still have a structure there where the voting power is all Duval. Every Duval member gets 2 votes, and that infuriates me.
That's just...
I'm out there talking a regional agenda, and they're talking regionally and acting locally.
You had the mayor show up
Yeah.
at the meeting. There was, clearly problems. How did that work out over this past week?
Not well.
No?
No.
Ah, man.
Duval is not trusted by the outlying communities, elected officials.
Why should they? It's always been, forever it's been Duval, Duval, Duval.
I'm not arguing that point. But because of that, you can't go out there and talk poop.
Well, he came and he poo-pooed on the meeting, is what he did.
Well, he was, of course, Malott says that was a good message. And I said, yes. Well, I guess you didn't talk to the counties.
Come with me. Let's go have lunch with Clay County.
Well, I made that fun cornerstone this year. I charge, as you know, stupid fees.
Stupid fees are good.
Yeah.
I got my new glasses and I got my stupid, my stupid
Wow.
lanyard that
These are
goes.
fancy.
Oh, Tom, those are great.
Wow. But nothing comes in.
No, nothing. I mean, it's.
The prescription too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, where'd you get these? Oh, very nice looking.
Over at the little eye place next to my eye doc.
Are they cool or are they hot?
I haven't had them long enough to find out.
Like
Don't know.
Be a little hot at times.
Don't know.
Boy, they block everything.
Yeah, that's what I liked about them. I went there because they give you lens changes every 90 days.
Is it really?
Yeah, no charge.
What is that?
Well, it's with the same eye doc,
Right.
so he knows as you're going off of eye operation, your vision changes and all that crap.
I
So
gotcha.
yeah,
So it's all part of the grand plan,
yeah,
not that little plan.
grand plans,
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
grand plans.
Haven't heard from Wally in a while. I don't know how he made out in Vegas. Did you hear any feedback from the show in Vegas?
Was he in Vegas?
Yeah, Wally was there, Ben was there.
The only thing I heard, I called Wally. Well, I called him when I was trying to arrange dinner on the boat,
Well,
and he told me it was these past 2 weeks.
yeah.
He was going to the Bahamas, made reference to chairman of GE, take him down there and do whatever he does with him.
Chairman of GE.
Yeah.
I doubt he is the chairman. But maybe he does.
I don't know if GE has any money.
GE's got to play by GE Capital. Kidding me?
Oh, Capital, yeah.